Welcome to the Brickworks Podcast, an extension of the studio based here in Burnham-on-sea. Our aim for this podcast is to have a completely open forum for conversation. This could be about art, life, mental health, or even how the world is burning down around us right now. Whether you're listening to this whilst on a run or relaxing at home, we hope you enjoy our mild-mannered rambles. Thank you. What's going on, George? You're leaving me, and I'm not happy about it.
Sooner the better.
You arse. I see how this podcast is going to go. So we decided that for this last week, being George's last week, to everyone listening or watching, that we would do a podcast with George, because to be honest with you, you don't actually show your face a whole lot, like, because you're not in the vlogs really. You're not.
It's probably because I'm not really here as much as I should be, because obviously with work, when I was working.
Yeah, true. I didn't think about that. But no, I thought, it would be a nice gesture to sit down, have a chat. We can talk about fun memories. We can... Oh, bro. Do you remember the first time we got the keys? We're in here, we're working on the studio, before it even looked like the Brickworks. And was it the foam, when we were seeing who could slide the furthest on the foam?
Yeah, it was just the foam bits out there, the yellow ones.
Yeah.
Was it the grey?
I can't remember, but I've got a video on my phone somewhere of like me running, jumping on it head first, and just bodying the floor at full speed. Like,
no, you slid, didn't you?
Nah, you slid.
No, I fucking went KO on the floor.
Well, both of us must have, because I remember headbutting the floor pretty fucking hard. I was like, dunk.
Oh god, what was there's something else on there?
Bro, there's so many funny clips of when we were painting in here. You sitting down on the fucking wheelie chair. You on the desk chair. doing
the pillar, and I was sat on the chair, wasn't I?
Yeah, the amount of times I shouted at you.
Yeah, because I couldn't be asked to stand up.
Every time I walked outside, I came back in, you were sat on the fucking desk chair, wheeling around, painting. I was like, for fuck's sake, George.
Because it's a vibe, man.
Mate, it was not a vibe. Yeah. Oh, bro, gonna miss you, man. Like, it's gonna be weird having the Brickworks without George.
Yeah, I'm like, just... I'd be like a fly on the wall, just watching.
Be keeping an eye on the vlogs.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't. I'm gonna just send them to you.
Well, on my days off, I'll,
watch the vlog.
Yeah. Or whatever, Drive to Survive or anything.
You're trying to say that's more important than the Brickworks? Awkward.
For the Republic.
I knew you were going to sneak it in this podcast somewhere. But no, I know not everyone watches the vlog, so you're off back into the army, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about it. Where are you going? What's the plan?
So my plan is, well, for the first 12 weeks instead of 14, I'm going to be up in Surrey, Purbright, Surrey. So that's like the basic training. So, getting all your kit and learning to march properly.
Yeah.
Because you'd be amazed that people can't do it. It's just a brisk walk with
a bit more arm movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like learning to survive in the field.
Good times.
Like shooting a rifle for the first time.
Why do I feel like that's the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to?
Surprisingly, it's not.
No?
No. I think I'm more intrigued with... being out in the field.
Really?
Yeah. If it's not pissing down.
Yeah. Well, I think you've timed it quite well, though, because you're going in and it's now turning into springtime.
Yeah, but then you've got to think the April showers, haven't you?
True, but then summer's round the corner.
Yeah. But when I do... Well, after all this... Because I got the gas chamber as well. Bayonet training, which is not going to be fun.
No. So run me through it. So what is because in my mind, the way bayonet training is, it's like in a film where you run at a sandbag with a bayonet on the end of your gun. Am I wrong in assuming that?
That's basically it.
So it hasn't changed?
No. It's to... Well, in my eyes, it's to control anger. Yeah.
Weird.
Well, so on that day, the instructors purposely piss you off.
Okay.
So like last time I was in, it was a wet day. It was raining, and we were stood out in our shirts. And I think someone was late or someone coughed. I can't remember. And those drains, those small thin drains like you see in the high street.
Yeah.
They're useless, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much pointless.
And it flooded.
Okay.
And so we had to like press ups in the puddle.
Ugh.
Yeah. So like hypothermia and that. Nah, no, you're right, mate.
Yeah.
And then we all marched to the field to the armory to get our rifles and that. Then to the field. Then it's just a hellhole. Just a massive hellhole. And like one side of the field is called heaven, the other side is called hell.
Okay.
So you got to run to heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Then run back into the pit, like the square where you start.
And
then it's just a nightmare.
Well, it sounds quite grueling, but I suppose it kind of needs to be quite a grueling process.
Well, it's the way you think about it. Like, say you're out of ammunition, so is the enemy. And Terry Taliban just killed your mate. What are you gonna do?
Well, yeah.
You're gonna be angry, adrenaline like kicking in.
That's true. I suppose
You know what
it's as simulated as it can be in a way.
It's sort of close to the real thing, just apart from it's a sandbag, not
a human being.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Have you seen? I can't remember which. I was reading an article. I can't remember what military force it was, but they've started using like virtual reality to train soldiers. So like these like massive.
Marines, isn't it?
I think it's the American Marines. I think like it was really interesting. The article was about how they've built this like full virtual reality sim. Basically, it's a room, and it has like treadmills, like 360-degree treadmills. So like no matter the way you run, there's resistance, so it feels like you're running in every direction, but in reality you're not going more than 2 feet. Yeah. And it's like they use that to train for like operations and stuff. It looked really interesting. To be honest, it looked like a really sick video game, but for the purpose of training somebody for war, I suppose it would be quite a good way.
I think it would, but then anyway, to be ready for war is to be out there. So like you had a bit of urban warfare going on. Is that you can train your tactics on VR or on a game, but to be able to do it in real, you have to go and do it in real.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose that the idea of the VR is to like, I'm not sure, maybe to get the mind ready for it, like in the context of like the madness of, I suppose, what a combat situation would be.
You just gotta have madness to go in from day one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right now, actually.
Yeah.
Got to be bonkers.
Well, that makes one of us. Because I'm definitely not. You're not going to see me in camouflage unless it's for fashion. But we won't go down that road because I know it annoys George.
Deeply, actually. Very deeply.
So what... You're going back into artillery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first regiment? Because you've been in before.
Yeah, I was in artillery before. Same job, same everything.
Yeah.
But I'm going to a different regiment in the regiment.
Okay, interesting.
So I was with the Royal Artillery before. I'm going into the Royal Horse Artillery.
Okay, interesting.
It just sounds more fancy.
It does sound very fancy. Do you wear like button-up shirts and stuff?
Yeah, tuxedos on the day out,
The new James Bonds.
Yeah,
So what's the difference?
I think it's just down to I don't know actually. I need to look more into it. I think it's more ceremonial than anything.
Okay. Yeah, well, I would have thought 20, 30, well, probably longer, 50 years ago or something crazy like that, there would have been the horse brigade of that.
Well, at least bring cannons in with the horses, didn't they?
Yeah, so maybe it is just a title from the past as such.
It sounds more Gucci.
You're just going to be flexing and be like, yeah, I'm part of the Royal Horse Brigade. What was it?
And what? Royal Horse Artillery.
Royal Horse.
So, yeah,
you get a little badge with a pony on it. I'm like, yeah, cool. Nice, George.
Yeah, Shetland. little mention Shetland there. It's like, have a beef name.
Just name it like Barry.
Yeah, it's like, this
is Barry. That's funny, man. That's so funny. But no, it's crazy because I remember you mentioning, well, way before we even were talking about the Brickworks. This is 2 years ago, I think. Before I left for Cheltenham, you mentioned about wanting to go back in.
I've always have so I think it's 4 years I came out. 4 or 5, I can't remember. My head just
yeah.
But ever since then, I've always wanted to come back in, but because I had medical issues, I had to have 3 years off, and I sort of forgot about it, and then I think I kept seeing the army adverts. I was like, oh, I could give it a go again. Then it kept getting into my head and forward and forwards, and I thought, just pull the trigger, because you don't know what's going to happen until you find out.
No, that's true. I suppose it sort of planted the seed to go back in again.
It's more of a mindset. It's like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to finish what I started. That's the way I see it. But if you want, another saying that I've always stuck by is, if you want it enough, you will get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you want to displace, you got it.
Yeah, I think I'm a big believer in the mind is an incredible facilitator. Well, all of the things I talk about, because all I do is rant 24/7 and complain in the studio and talk about some deep spiritual shit half the time. All we normally do is just quote David Goggins, play basketball, and then write emails. That is the normal day when George is in the studio.
All F1 memes.
F1 memes has been the new thing.
Yeah.
We've been watching. Well, I've been watching Drive to Survive. Have you watched any of it yet?
I haven't actually.
That's disappointing, George.
I've watched the first half of it.
What, of one episode?
Yeah.
Terrible form.
I'm getting ready for the big race, man.
You're gonna have so much free time on your hands come next week.
Yeah, it's like the teaser.
Well, actually, thinking about it, this podcast comes out the day you leave. Comes out Friday.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That's weird.
I was watching on the way.
Yeah, you have to watch your podcast on the way to going into the army.
Yeah, God, watch it.
That's pointing at yourself right now.
Please,
George, watch yourself.
Yeah. Do it, me.
This is George from the future.
Yeah.
No, past. I'm confused. Past.
Is it Back to the Future now?
Either way, we've got so. This is legit how it goes in the studio. We start talking about stuff about work, and then somehow it
just peels off.
Yeah, peels off down a rabbit hole that neither of us expected it to go down.
Or was it oh yeah, we'll do my zine.
Yeah.
And then it's basketball.
Yeah. It's okay, let's do the zine. A parcel arrived. Both of us got a bit distracted by a parcel. If anyone's watched the vlog, you'll see what I mean. And then we played basketball for 45 minutes, and then we're actually, we better do the scene now.
I better choose these photos out.
I really hope that people realise we are productive here.
I hope.
Oh, I hope so.
Sorry.
No, that's crazy, man, because I remember you mentioning it to me a few years ago. As I said before, I went off to Cheltenham, saying about wanting to go back in and having that drive to sort of get back in and finish what you started, which I always felt was quite sort of quite powerful. It's quite a powerful thing to have, having this drive to feel like there's this part of your story that needs to be finished.
I think it's more motivation. It can be hard, because you get days where you get a good days, so you go, oh yeah, I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. Then like if you get a shit day, it's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
I could be doing this, I could be doing that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more comfortable being around a military atmosphere. I think it always happened for donkey's years. I mean, yeah.
I think some people are, though. I think some people are really...
Everyone has their own atmosphere.
Yeah, in their own way that they like to approach life. And like, I suppose, personally, I've never been in the army or a military background. Nobody in my family, as far as I'm aware, well, apart from my grandpa, has been in the military. So like, I'm spitting at the wall right now, but it's like having that regimented lifestyle, you know, it must be quite freeing. I always remember, I think I remember talking to you about a guy called Jacko Willink.
Yeah, you've told me about him.
Yeah, and like he has a book that's really, when I read it, it like reignited a fire in me, and it's called Discipline Equals Freedom, and it's this idea that having a very disciplined life, like a regimented or discipline, because they're almost one and the same in some capacities, actually gives you much more freedom in your own mind because you already know what you're doing. So like,
it's more set in it, like
totally, and it's like, by no means do I think I live a militaristic lifestyle, because I know I don't, but I live a very disciplined and regimented lifestyle, and it definitely has changed, like, for me anyways, like, it's definitely given my mind much more freedom.
You do really think, because you get up, you do your exercise, your yoga or
running, training.
Yeah. So you do that every day, don't you? That's your discipline, self-discipline there. Where someone could just get up at 12 o'clock and go, I don't know what I'm going to do today.
That scares me more than anything. Genuinely, I was saying this to a friend yesterday. I was like, the thing that scares me more than anything is not have anything to do. It freaks me the fuck out. Like, I think you're similar as well, like, because we're very close friends. We have been for a while now. But I think you're quite similar in that when you have a goal in mind, whatever that goal is, so for example, going back in the army, your focus is on nothing but that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
that's at the moment. That's just my main priority. So I'm trying. So I got 3 days to.
Not even that. Well, yeah.
Well, maybe less than that now.
Yeah, because you're leaving Friday. Yeah. And it's now Wednesday, so you've got one full day left.
Yeah, pretty much. And I got
Well, it's not Wednesday, is it? It's Tuesday.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
You got 2 full days.
Oh, a winner.
Mate, my brain is not working.
I thought it was Wednesday.
Honestly, I did as well.
Yeah, but then, I got stuff to sort out, got things to do, things I want to do before I go. So, take the bike out and yeet it off a cliff somewhere.
Just full send.
Yeah, just go in the army with a broken leg. So what do you do? It's like, sent it.
Sent it, bro.
Yeah, yeeted. But yeah, it's just a bit weird at the moment. I'm more shocked about it's happening.
I was going to say, has it set in yet?
Yes and no.
In what sense?
I think the fact I'm still here doing my normal daily shiz, it's sort of put it into the back of my head, go yeah, right, focus on this, stay calm, stay cool, do your thing. Then I think once I'm at my own, I'm like, right, George, you need to sort your shit out, get stuff sorted, pack stuff away, focus on what you need to do. You know what I mean?
It's always strange, I found, when you've got a big life-changing thing coming up, but it's not quite there yet. It's always this weird moment, because there's for yourself right now, you're in that couple of days just before shit goes sideways and you're in a completely different environment. So it's a
huge environment is.
Absolutely, and it's massively different to the one that you found yourself in for the last couple of years. So it's yeah, there's always going to be this stop me if I'm wrong, but there's always like an anxiety, or there's like this, it never really fully clicks. Like I for me anyways, personally, I remember the first time I moved out and like went to go study my master's, like it didn't really hit me until I actually, at the time it actually really hit me was I went shopping. So I moved, I unpacked all my stuff, all of that stuff into the house. And I was like, right, I need to go do a food shop. And I hadn't done a food shop in God knows how many years at that point.
I think it's like, because it's a big step. It's like an anxious moment. It's like, oh, I need to look after myself now. Because, you ain't got no one looking over your shoulder saying, you're not doing this right.
Yeah.
Because I've got the iron on my own now.
Yeah, totally.
I can't iron for shit. Gonna be honest.
Gonna have to learn real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, exactly. Like I remember going to the shop, doing my shop, getting home, and like putting the bags down in the kitchen, being like, "Oh fuck, we're doing this." Like
it's like where you used to coming home and
yeah,
go on PlayStation or
yeah.
And there's like, no, I got to put food away. I got
completely
feed
changed.
myself.
Yeah, I think for me in that moment, it was like this massive shift in my mindset, especially like I went into a real deep independence. Like I just fucking dove headfirst into it, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure, I'm sure for yourself it'll be something similar. Like when you step into the barracks, it'd be like, game time.
I think I'll be comfortable straight in there.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because I know what it's like. And when I was in last time, I was happy. I was like a little kid, just happy. Or puppy, just give me a ball. Like,
yeah. Let me go do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go do something cool.
Yeah, because I suppose you've got the benefit of doing it once before.
Knowledge in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I won't go down that path, but I got the knowledge of the people who's going to come in fresh. So, my group chat on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I think there's only 2 people in there now on their first or second week. And all the other lot, they're coming in with me. So I got, like an old man, I got the wisdom, all the advice.
But like, guys, listen to me. You're going to be fine.
Don't get caught.
Don't steal the waffles. Don't do it. Yeah, there's a problem with the seat at the moment. George, so to the people listening, George almost just fell through the podcast area.
I'm fat.
Yeah.
in kind words. So George, you're a fat fuck.
No, you've been training like crazy recently though. Like low key, I've been kind of jealous. Like straight up, I was like, when I've seen you like on doing your PTs and stuff, I'm like, fuck's sakes. Like George is getting after it. I need to get after it.
I'll tell you what, like, I think I find that hard. It's just, I don't know about you, but it's probably come from Goggins now, actually. It sucks putting your trainers on just to go out for a run.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta go and do it now. You know what I mean?
Honestly, yeah.
Then, especially when I was working nights, the athlete's like, right, I'm gonna have to run. Where am I gonna run? How far am I gonna run? And then it's just
gotta go do it.
Yeah.
I think it's that moment where, like, for example, like this morning for me, it's like I didn't sleep fuck all last night. I'd had a terrible night's sleep. I won't go into why.
No.
Anyways, and I woke up this morning knowing that I had to train, like, because I train 6 days a week. I try and take a day off a week now, otherwise I'm too old and my back hurts.
Same age.
Yeah, but I've broken more bones, so
yeah, that's true.
Like, my body is pretty fucking broken.
Anyway,
it's not
fragile.
It's not. Yeah, I need a fragile sticker somewhere on me or a tattoo.
Black and yellow tape.
Bro, that would be a cool tattoo idea.
What, just fragile?
Yeah, but like have it in some like really funky font. Fucking hell, gone down a rabbit hole. See what I mean? Like we always do that. No, what I was gonna say is, like, when I woke up this morning, I was like, it's like 5:10, and I was just like, fuck fuck's sakes, like exhausted, only a few hours sleep, strong coffee, and I was just like, genuinely went into like my little workout space I have at home and just stared at my weights for like 15 minutes, like, I don't want to fucking pick you up, like,
so I don't want to do you. No.
And then just put some music on, and I was like, right, we gotta get on with it, come on, like, and just got through it.
It's go time.
Yeah, and I think there's something, well, it's quoting David Goggins again, but I think there's something about doing the shit that sucks every single day that reminds you of the things that you're very lucky to have.
That's what he says, isn't it? Do something that sucks every day.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, I think.
Yeah, I think he uses it in the context to like build his mental strength or whatever. But like, I think for me, the way I think I look at it is to be like, to give myself like gratification of knowing that like by doing this shit that sucks. I don't know about you, but I do not like exercising. I would much rather sit at home and eat Krispy Kremes, but I can't.
I think people who like to do exercise, they're on a crazy pills.
Cuckoo.
Yeah. They're on something.
I couldn't agree more. Like, there's parts of exercising that I like, you know, the serotonin release and all that stuff, but like the physical part of it, like genuinely having to go out and run for an hour and a half.
Apart from cycling, I like cycling.
Yeah, cycling's kind of fun, but it's kind of dangerous at the same time, so I think that's what makes it fun.
Depends on what you do.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's, you know, we won't dive deep into all the cycling accidents I've been through. Anyways.
Next stage.
next one. But yeah, for me, it's like, did I just plug my mic? Nope. I have a habit of that. I always punch the bottom of this microphone.
Just blacken your tape.
Or put a boxing glove around it. So if I punch it, like
it's like
a speed ball.
Yeah,
turn the mic into a speed ball.
In the face.
I'll just talk to Harry. I'll be like, Harry, I need a speed ball.
It's shaped from a mic.
Fuck, where were we? I can't even remember. Exercising, not enjoying it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hate it.
And you just punched the mic as well. Nailed it. Yeah, but there's something amazing about doing it and having like, and then walking into the studio like 2 hours later, knowing that I've just like done something that I really dislike doing, and now I get to do something that I love. Like,
it's more of the outcome, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Before I can sneeze, then. I think like after a good exercise, you just feel like on fire, positive. It's like, you know what I mean? So like, once you do your exercise, you probably feel good about, I'm going to come in the studio, do what I enjoyed the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it definitely changes like your mindset. Do you find, has it done that for you? Because you, as I said, you've been training a lot recently.
After a good run, I do. Like, feel like you're on, like, you know, you could tackle Godzilla or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we had different perspectives in the army. It's like, you done your PT. Time for this. Like, fuck.
Well, I suppose because you're always on the go, though, aren't you? Like, there's always,
you don't really stop.
Yeah, it's like this constant cycle of need to do that, need to do this, and it's all physical. Like I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? It's like in the army, everything is like a physical role per se.
Yeah, where like fitness is key. So basically, you're getting paid to be fit. Yeah. In the army, and also fight.
Yeah. Well, there's that little thing about, you know, brush over that.
Yeah, stay under there.
Just like put it under the rug.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to enjoy the most. Just not sitting around doing much. You know, not doing a lot. Sorry. Where I can just get up, sort myself out, like in the morning, shit shower, shave.
Triple S.
The S's, big S's.
The big S's.
And then you got the whole day being active. Then that's for the next, 4 to 12 years?
Yeah.
Depending on how long I do.
I swear to God, if you dip for 12 years, I'm going to be pissed, George.
Come back like...
Mate, that's actually thinking about it, 12 years, like 25, 35. So it's 30. I'll be 37. Well, we'll both be 37 years old.
Yeah.
Basically old.
Old as fuck.
Everybody who's under 40, sorry, bad joke.
Still old. Every day you're getting older.
George doesn't give a fuck.
No. I don't give a fuck no more.
It's because you're leaving.
Yeah, but still going to backfire on me.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because when I get old, I'm just going to be like rigid.
Well, yeah, I feel that pain.
Yeah. So that's just karma come back to me.
Just like, fuck you, George.
Because you said that.
Because you said I was old. You've got arthritis in all of your limbs.
Smell of piss.
Fuck's sakes. And why did I know this podcast was going to go like this?
Escalating.
I'm so used to having like a really professional sit down, just like, so talk to me about your work, all of this, and sit down with George, smell your piss. Like, so,
say smell your piss or smell of piss?
What did you say?
Smell of piss.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said smell your piss.
I think that's what, I can't even remember. I got some things going on, bro.
I'm out. I'm out.
So, talk to me a bit about Seelöwe, because it's...
Seelöwe? Okay. Seelöwe.
I think it's Seelöwe.
Yeah.
Like the loofah, Seelöwe.
The loofah.
The loofah. Because obviously yourself being from like a military background or having a strong interest in it, is that where the idea for I'm going to call it Sea Lion came from?
That's what it is. It actually came from when I was in primary school.
Oh shit, all the way back.
Like, obviously back in primary school when you study, you learn stuff. I think it was too about the Blitz, like the Battle of Britain. I think that's what triggered it. And ever since then, I've always been so intrigued by it. Then at this age, it's just sort of like I got money to go places. Let's just go and find them. Get a camera, explore it. And it's, to this day now, there's still things I didn't even know. Like, probably not many people actually know themselves.
Well, it's a really interesting project. Like, so it's about like sort of abandoned or disused like World War II. I should really know because I've helped you with the project. But
yeah.
I didn't.
But it's the way it's been neglected, like how it's been left just to rot. And people go past things every day, like buildings. Every building structure, brick, tells a story, and it's just finding that story. You know what I mean? And I think my aim was just to recapture the forgotten areas. So like on one of those, the mouth, like I can't remember the river name. Was it River Brew?
Pat.
The River Act? No.
Are we not about the river that's right out there?
Yeah, next to the apex.
Isn't it the River Parrot? No, the River Parrot's in Reading, I think. I can't remember.
That river.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, you got like obviously the coastal path, haven't you?
Yeah.
And the opposite side is just green. Goes towards Huntsville. There's a pillbox there.
Interesting.
In the field, and I remember finding it one day. And people don't think about it.
No.
Like the kids these days go, "Oh, what's that?"
It's really interesting because I remember you first making making pictures about this project, and like, I think for me, I've always noticed pillboxes, but the ones that are, fairly easy to spot. There's one that I know of that's like literally down the road from my house. It's in a football ground, like a football field.
Oh yeah.
The one that's opposite, like I think it's like a farm.
Westcroft Farm.
That's the one. So I've always noticed them, but I've never really dug into them. And I always remember the time that we went over to the old Western airfield, and literally just were walking through marshes pretty much, because that whole area was all sort of sodden.
Yeah, it's really weird, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really weird place. And then we came across those like 2 pillboxes, one on one side of like the little. It wasn't even really it was like a reen more than anything else. And then there was like the other one that hadn't been sort of fully pulled out of the earth yet.
Oh, it's all dug in, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I always remember going there because you could go in them, because a lot of the pillboxes in Burnham anyways, I think, or like the very close area, they're all locked up, or you can't necessarily get in them.
It depends on, I think, depending on what land they're on, the landowner owns them. But if you go like, there's one by the station that's bricked up. But if you look inside, there's probably like beer cans, needles.
Yeah.
People just use that as a
shelter.
Yeah,
as a place.
Or just a place to get high.
Yeah, I suppose that makes it a really interesting subject matter, though, because there's these sort of, you know what I'm like, I end up psychoanalyzing everything. It's kind of my job, but it makes it really interesting because these old buildings, these pillboxes that were erected for defence, pretty much, and now they're being utilised for something completely different, and not in the means of what they were designed to be utilised for. So it's almost this interesting sort of poetic story of these forgotten buildings, these forgotten sort of relics of the past.
Yeah.
Which some might argue are actually quite beautiful if you're into quite brutalist architecture.
Well, because there's different types, so they've got different faces. I'll say they've got different faces.
Yeah, they've got like a character.
Yeah.
Like when you walk up to them, they've got this. I don't know if you found it, but for me, walking up to I remember when we went to Weston's Island, like walking through Weston's Island over
there was loads, wasn't there?
Yeah, and there was loads of these like abandoned buildings. What was Weston's Island before? I can't remember. Like, what was it used for in the war?
It was an RAF base, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Because where we parked up had the old runway,
yeah.
And then we saw that guy, didn't we?
Oh yeah, you were like, oh no, I remember saying,
and I went to that tower, the RAF tower, the control tower.
Yeah. We had to sneak into.
Turns out we didn't.
No. Should we tell the story?
Yeah.
So to anyone that's been to Weston's Island,
sketchy. Yeah,
it's a pretty dodgy area. Not. Well, it is pretty dodgy actually. Thinking about, I'm trying to like categorize it. There's no point. So we went to Weston's Island. What, last summer was it? I think last spring.
Yeah.
No, was it? No, it was
before all this.
Was it before the pandemic?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was.
That's mad. Anyways, we went over to Weston's Island, which is an old abandoned RAF base just outside of Bridgewater. Didn't it used to house Americans, US soldiers, if I remember right?
Yeah, for D-Day.
Yeah, that was it. Because we bumped into that bloke who knew far too much, and I was like,
what was his name?
Ryan, probably.
No, was it Andrew? No.
Was that Andrew?
I can't remember.
Neither can I. Anyways, so we went over there, and there's the main airfield, like the main runway, the concrete runway, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which we parked opposite, hopped over the fence, walked in, and then there's like a grass runway, which is like the actual runway that people use now.
Yeah, it had numbers, didn't it? I said to you, that's a runway.
Yeah, you were like, oh, it's a runway, we should probably walk on the side of it or whatever. And I was saying to you, like, nah, nobody uses this. Look at it, it's abandoned. Lo and behold, we walk all the way down. So we'll get back to that bit. So we walk all the way down this makeshift runway. We get to where...
I think it was a taxiway.
Yeah, I think it was probably a taxiway. But we get to where we wanted to be, which was like the other side of the base. And there's the tower that George was just mentioning. And lo and behold, around the tower is a load of travellers living next door to this.
Was it travellers?
I'm more than 90% sure it was.
I wouldn't be surprised.
not to categorize people, but I'm pretty sure it was. And so we're walking up to this thing, and it's open, plain as day, in the middle of the day. People could see us so easily, and we're like coming up with like a tactical plan of being like how to get in there.
Get the cameras out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember genuinely being like, fuck, if we get caught, bro, like we're gonna get everything stolen from us.
Just leg it.
I was like, we need to know our exit strategies. Anyways, so we sneak up onto this building, and it's quite a beautiful building. It was pretty trashed, but
it's had better days.
Yeah, definitely. And we go through it with like whispering like this, like, you know, get your photos, George, like this.
Like, don't put your head out the window.
Yeah, don't stare out the window too long, and all of this shit. And George gets the pictures that he needs. I end up just sort of like ligging about in the bottom, like keeping lookout. And we dip out, and we basically like bolt across to get out so nobody sees us in there. And then we bump into Andrew or Brian or whatever this fella's name was.
It's a couple, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was him and his wife, who apparently had lived on the base or lived next to the base for generations. I think he said something about his dad. His dad was part of the RAF or something, or was a base manager or
something like that.
Yeah, and then he just started like dropping loads of information on us, and I was like, George, take notes.
And
like,
it was where he was, wasn't it? Behind those trees or bushes.
Yeah, it was all like just barracks and shit.
Just buildings after buildings.
Yeah. But anyways, when we spoke to this fella, we were saying how we had just gone into like, we had to sneak into like the tower block, which is like, 400 meters south of us. It wasn't very far. And he's like, what do you mean you snuck into it? It's like, well, there's travelers, like you want to be. He's like, no, you could just walk in there, like nobody owns it. And both me and George just looked at each other and were like, fuck's sakes.
Well, we felt like dickheads.
Yeah. We had comprised this like beautiful military style plan to get in and out. And then in the grand scheme of things, didn't need to. Why is that literally the story of our friendship?
It was worth it.
Honestly, it was fucking jokes. So anyways, we went off, and then we photographed all the barracks, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then as we were walking back, we were going to walk back along the makeshift runway, well, I thought was a makeshift runway.
The grassy bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. And as we're just about to walk out to the runway, a plane appears. Just genuinely, do you remember the plane just like, just comes flying in?
Didn't land, turn around, and then took off again.
Yeah, literally, just as we were about to walk on it, we both heard a plane, looked to our right, and here's this fucking plane just like flying at full speed at us. We both like dip and like run out the way of it. It lands. What? Didn't we hide? I think we hid.
Yeah, I think we did.
Why did we hide?
I don't know. We could just walk around it. Yeah. Because that taxiway led to the road.
Yeah.
But for some reason you wanted to take photos of that.
Oh yeah, there was like a big tyre pile, wasn't there?
Looked like a makeshift go-kart track.
Yeah, it looked really interesting.
Yeah, we should. Both went the same way.
Bro, some of the shit we've got up to photographing is kind of stupid, but it's good at the same time. Like some of the stories, man, it's kind of funny.
I swear there's another one.
There's been a couple of really just random ones that we've done.
Wasn't there one a night shoot?
Yeah, we went on a night shoot in, where was it? I can't even remember. Breen? Was it Breen?
Yeah, because it was foggy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like the far side of Breen.
Yeah, because I think that was like the first week I moved home, wasn't it? Like January 2020.
Yeah, because it was past Pontins, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we were making pictures out there, and it was a bit spooky.
Yeah, fucking cold.
Yeah, so cold. We've done some weird shit. Like done some weird shit whilst out photographing.
Yeah.
But I think that make like honestly to any like photographers that are listening to this or young photographers or whatever, you've got to do stupid shit. Like
that's what makes it fun,
bro. 100%. You got to like find a mate who's into photography. It doesn't matter what level they're at, because obviously both you and I are completely different spectrums in photography.
I ain't got qualification, I just got a camera, that's it.
Totally, but like also we're both very passionate about it,
yeah.
You know, which makes it fun. I think I just unplugged my mic again. I didn't.
Well done.
This podcast is going well.
End it.
Send it. But yeah, I think like it's so vital. Like it's such a vital part of being a photographer. It's like that exploration, and especially putting yourself in positions where you're like, we probably shouldn't be here. Like positions.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it fun.
I could agree with that.
Like it just changed. I think, like as you could tell, like I remember that Western Zoyland trip fondly, just because it was fucking jokes. Like
it was just funny, but like at the end of it, didn't need to be sneaky.
No, I know.
Like we just walk back there again and just hop it. I think was it the gate?
Yeah, it was just like a rusty old gate with some gravel behind it.
And that guy Andrew, fucking Gary Bob Ding Dong, whatever his name was, said, "Yeah, just carry on."
He was like, "Crack on." It's like, "Oh, sound." Like
he said it.
Yeah, I was like, "Fucking hell, that's so funny, bro."
But yeah, that was like a gold mine now was for photos.
Yeah, you made some really cool pictures.
Yeah, I think that RAF tower, that's my best shot. Like far down, like since the day I first picked up a camera, that's my best shot.
Especially under pressure as well. What we thought was pressure.
I should be under pressure more often.
Maybe you're good at it.
Yeah. Oh, wicked.
But no, it's a really interesting sort of like project Sea Lion, because it's not just because you went to Dover and everything as well.
Yeah, that was for obviously a specific reason. But I think going to those spots where it's just sort of, let's just have a look. They're probably well known for obviously for Dover. But like, I think it's one of the photos in that zine. I can't remember what it's called. Something. It's been blocked off. Like the bridge's been stripped off and its doors have been sealed. But it's so massive. I just want to go in there.
Where was it?
It's on where Dover Port is.
Yeah.
You got the hill.
Oh, was it up there?
Yeah, it's near the top. I think you got the castle.
Yeah.
And I think it's across it. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's battery gun points up there, pillboxes, the giant fort. There's an old concrete dish. Acoustic radar, I think that's what it's called.
That's crazy.
They used it in World War One.
What the fuck? That's mad.
Yeah, I think there's not many of them left.
No.
It's so weird to look at, but so clever.
I think, like, would you agree that you've learned a lot during this project? I think you feel like, for me anyways, from the outside looking at the work and like speaking to you about it, I feel like it's progressively just become more and more of like an obsession, like with like diving deeper and deeper.
It's more of an addiction, because like as soon as you find out one thing, it leads to another.
Yeah.
And it will go on and on and on, obviously to the very end. Then obviously from then you had to find something else to do. But obviously with the Second War, there's so many things just to like dig into, like even going to other countries once COVID's gone. Yeah. So going to France, you've got the beaches, you've got the German bases out there, like the U-boat stations, the islands, Jersey, Guernsey. Is it Albany?
Well, Albany is somewhere in America, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think Albany's a state.
Might be Alderney then.
Might be Alderney.
It's like little islands, and one's I think it was a Nazi concentration camp, or...
Weird.
Yeah.
That sounds really interesting. I think that's the thing though, isn't it? It's something like a project like this, it could be a lifetime project. You could genuinely be shooting it for a lifetime.
If I wasn't going in the army, I'd probably stick to it. But like, there's nothing stopping me from carrying on. No. I just have to do it my own time I get.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, and I think if anything, like having a limiting factor, something that limits your capability to go and make things, it will make the the process of making the project much more joyous, I think. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that I found for me anyways, is that because I can create and make whenever I want, so I don't have to come in the studio on some days if I don't want to. I can go make a project. It's not quite as joyous as it used to be, where it was like, oh, I've only got 2 days off this week, but I want to go do this and I want to shoot that. And it's like, there feels like much more sort of emphasis to make it.
Yeah. I think it's more what on the subject you do. Depending on what it is, like, you can just step out the door, you got a project there.
Yeah.
Like, you can go travel to like Australia just for a project. That'd be a good project.
That would be a cool project.
Don't know what about, but it'd be worth it.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
free holiday.
It's crazy though, because like for me, like, speaking not out of turn by any means, but like your growth as an artist, I've seen it sort of firsthand, and it's like, it's so awesome to see. Like, because I remember the first time you started making pictures with that old Canon, the old film Canon that you had.
Yeah.
And it broke and just stopped working. Like,
it was broke since I had it.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what the issue was with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then to the point now where you're like creating and constructing like quite deep rooted stories and like materials within that. It's like, it's so sick to see, because I love seeing that in artists, like seeing that growth, you know what I mean? And it's like,
just learn it. Every day's like a learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, it motivates me as well, because like looking at people making work and creating what they love, it's like, fuck, I want to get back on a project and make something, and you know what I mean, like, and not get caught up. Like,
just go and do it.
Well, I'm doing the escapism thing, aren't I, at the moment? So
escape the door and go and do it.
Should we just go run away? Well, you're going in the army, so
I'm running away anyway.
Yeah,
so
you're leaving me.
You.
I'm not happy about that, but there we are.
Yeah, it's like it.
Arsehole. No, it's cool, man, because like we made the zine of Seelöwe,
Seelöwe.
Made a 1 of 1, so you now have a 1 of 1
limited edition
of it. But it would be so cool to like produce something like from that project at some point.
Oh, I mean, like, if it like gets further, or somehow manage to carry on with it, it'll be brilliant. Just to like, see up on a wall somewhere, or see like, the Heritage Trust or people, groups like that. Just to see it and take, have a look at it.
I genuinely think doing an exhibition on Breen Down would have been really interesting. Do you remember we spoke about it ages ago?
I remember going up there years ago.
Yeah.
And someone did the art.
There was an art trail up there about 6 years ago.
Because I went up randomly, well, I think it was a friend, and all the doors were open. I thought, that's never open.
Yeah.
And it was just like art stuff.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah, man. I could fully see this project in something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I did do photos up, didn't I?
Breen Down? Yeah, you did loads up there.
Yeah, because
the thing that you told me about that I thought was fucking sick was the arrow, the concrete arrow. I'd never seen it, and then you were like, because you worked with, well, you went up there with the National Trust, didn't you? For one day, I think it was, and then you were like, oh, bro, there's an arrow. I was like, what the fuck do you mean there's an arrow? You showed me the picture. I was like, what is that? And then we went on Google Maps and like there's this arrow, and then you were telling me the story behind it.
It's well, because obviously everyone knows the story about Breen Down, I hope. It's a secret secret site for weapons. So like the torpedo nets, bouncing bomb. I
think they tested the bouncing bomb there.
I think it was, I don't know, something like that. And like those a missile for the Canadians. And they practice it for the bombing runs, so that's probably why this beach is so well known for its bombs. Quite reassuring.
Get a few of those, just turn up on the shore like, oh, hello.
Yeah, and then when I was up there with National Trust, There's that little concrete building that.
Yeah.
I think I did a portrait up there.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
I stood on top of it.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's actually nothing to do with the army. That's the warden's hut. Yeah, the warden used to look after it. Lived in that.
That's quite funny.
Yeah, and I was like, didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then going further down, you got the arrow. Then another lookout point. Then you got these like arched brick. I think there's like 5 of them. And they were for machine gun training. Like for the brain guns. Didn't even know that.
No. Well, you can kind of get a sense for them. Like when you go up there and look at them, like they're like a U shape, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like a half moon, and they're like side by side by side, and it's like.
I didn't know what it was for at first. So I was just thought, is that a piss stop or?
They're just urinals, just chilling. Like.
Yeah, and there's out in the open. I didn't care. Oh, look, there's bombing raid. Oh, I was gonna have piss. And then further down, it's like on the road. There's actually an old metal railing, like a little slider thing.
Yeah. From
where the barrier used to be. I can't find it now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Then it goes on and on, and I can't remember the story that he told me.
That's so cool.
But
though.
Yeah, there's so much more there that I need to learn.
It's a really interesting location, like Breen Down, like the fort.
I think we're quite lucky to have it.
Yeah, I think
in
so.
some sort of way.
Yeah, I think it's an area that could definitely be. It's beautiful in its own right. Don't get me wrong, the way it is now, but it could definitely be utilised with something like that whole area. But obviously, being National Trust, there's quite a lot of grey area there. You can't really start to put anything out there as such.
I think it's slowly falling apart because of the sea.
Yeah.
Like, it was great to be beside the seaside.
Something like that.
Until things start getting rusty and...
Yeah. Well, you think it's right at the end of Breen Down as well. Like, it's in the firing line of...
The wind and all that.
Yeah, it's going to get absolutely smashed up. But I always remember, like... Because when you walk up to Breen Down, like, you can see sort of on the right-hand side at the bottom, there's those, like, patches of concrete. And they were, like, barracks and stuff like that. I always found that really interesting. And, like, as you know, I'm quite big into, like, the visualization of things and trying to meditate and all that shit. And I remember, like, looking at it and I could, like, visualize what it could have looked like, if that makes sense. I was like, oh, that would have been so sick to see.
It's like where the gun points were, and all the little metal cupboards. So those would be ammunition, and you just think there's 6 guys that used to just stand there, just looking to shoot down planes.
Yeah, how mad is that?
Yeah,
24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
In some sort of way, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
no,
it's not. But I think what's really interesting is like the history of it. I find history really interesting, and like the past usage of spaces very interesting.
That's going back onto finding, like, where you look into something and it just gets bigger. Like, just it's into a whole new level of, like, knowledge. It's like, I didn't know about this, didn't know about that. Let's look into it.
Yeah.
Then it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, totally. I think that's what makes this project that you've been shooting really interesting, because it does highlight a lot about the spaces and about what these buildings were used for. Like, it would be really interesting, please stop me if I'm wrong, but it would be really interesting if you sort of worked with a researcher and, like, made a book of it. Like, you could make a book of Breen Down by yourself, I reckon, like, of all the history from it, and you could, like, see what I mean? I'm going down the rabbit hole again. There's that creative rabbit hole.
I was listening to the noise up there.
But yeah, sorry, I was just fucking going down the hole there. But it would be really interesting to, like, develop the project further. But somebody had to go into the army.
Someone's got to do it. Sorry.
Sorry, after today's announcement with 100,000 troops leaving, you'll be back next week, won't you?
Yeah.
So that's about an hour. So shall we wrap it up?
Basketball.
Yeah, we're gonna go play basketball.
Yeah, boy.
It's nice weather outside, so we better go play basketball. You know what I mean?
Fuck it.
I'm fucking tired though.
Shut up.
So where can people find you, George? I know you're on Instagram.
I have 2 pages because I'm awkward like that.
Of course.
Obviously, my main one is.
Here we go.
MAN 30227912.
Good times.
And then obviously George Manchip Photography.
Cool. Well, I would say I appreciate you coming on, but you're here anyway, so.
I'll be the same, so.
Do you want me to give you the I appreciate you coming on speech?
No.
Okay, fantastic.
No.
We'll skip straight to the end. So yeah, guys. So if you guys want to check out George's work, make sure you go down to the description below and go over to Instagram, check George's project, Sea Lion and/or
Seelöwe.
Thank you. And yeah, check out George's work. And as I say at the end of every podcast, because I'm a complete hipster.
Tool.
Rude. Make sure you take care, guys. It's a crazy world out there. Look after your friends, your family, and to those friends that are leaving you, what do we say to them, George?
See you later.
Ciao.